My name is Madison. I'm a family law attorney, and we're here to talk about the hard topics. Today's topic is, how is child support calculated? So California sets forth an equation to calculate child support in the family code at section 4055. So anyone who wants to go look at it, it's available for you. It's this long equation. It's math, but it's full of letters. And we're going to walk you through what the letters stand for, so it starts to make a little bit more sense. So what we're looking at is you've got something called the K factor. Now, it's hard to stay exactly where somebody's going to be with the K factor, but when you think about it, it's just a multiplier. It starts at a certain percentage and it goes up from there, and it's essentially a multiplier by which a parent's income is going to be considered available for child support. There's charts, there's case law, there's all kinds of stuff explaining it in greater detail, but if you hear K factor or if you see that in the equation, that's what that's going to be referring to. You also have HN, which stands for the high earning parent's net income that's available for support. What that means is generally you have parties where one person's earning more money than the other party. Sometimes they're pretty close to each other, but we still see oftentimes it's mathematically unequal. And so the parent who's making more money will be considered the higher earning parent. And then their net income that's available for support is calculated a little bit differently than you hear when it's discussed in tax settings. But it's going to be essentially, what's the gross income coming in? How is that offset by deductions, expenses, health costs, etc. And that's the HN that's going to go next in the equation. That's where attorneys like to get into the nitty-gritty, especially if it's going to benefit you as their client. They can get very focused on what is ultimately going to change that parent's net income that's available for support. Next is the H%, and H% just refers to how much time that high earning parent has with a child or the children. It could be something where we get down into decimal points and we go down hour by hour to calculate a timeshare. It could also be something that's really just equal timeshare. You know, we have other videos talking about parenting plans, roughly equal timeshare. So it could be as simple as a 50-50 split. That's the high earning parent and then their timeshare. That's going to come, of course, with the lower earning parent and their timeshare. Everything's got to add up. And then you've got TN, and TN stands for the total net disposable income across both of the parties. It's combined. It takes into account what's coming in as the gross income, any offset for those deductions, expenses, etc. And ultimately, you throw all of that together, you've got minuses, you've got times, you've got the multiplier, and it's going to result in a guideline child support calculation. So it's hard to say, you know, hey, if you're making this bracket, here's how much your child support is going to be, because oftentimes it depends on the number of children, the percentage of the timeshare. We get into, like I said, the very particular details about the income coming in from any source available, the allowed deductions. There's all kinds of things in the case law that really speak to what can be included and what cannot be included. And so your best bet is whether you're a high earner parent and you think you're going to be on the hook for child support, or whether you're a parent who would be receiving child support, or you have a significantly higher timeshare than the other parent. You're going to want to talk to an attorney. They can explain what your rights are, what your responsibilities are, and they can pay attention to your particular case and really maximize what's going to be worth it to you.
To learn more, click the link in our bio.